Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. The time is always right to do what is right. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon. It is a weapon unique in history. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a constant attitude. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. The quality, not the longevity, of one's life is what is important. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. A riot is the language of the unheard. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Peace is not simply the absence of conflict, but the existence of justice for all people. The surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they'd die for. The time is always right to do what is right. The moral obligation is to speak out for justice. even when the world remains silent. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. Justice too long delayed is justice denied. Nonviolence means avoiding not only external physical violence, but also internal violence of spirit. I submit to you that if a man hasn't discovered something he will die for, he isn't fit to live. Love is understanding redemptive goodwill for all men. There is nothing more tragic than to find an individual bogged down in the length of life, devoid of breath. A man can't ride your back unless it is bent. Science investigates, religion interprets. Science gives man knowledge, which is power. Religion gives man wisdom, which is control. Human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. Courage faces fear and thereby masters it. We must combine the toughness of the serpent with the gentleness of the dove. It is always the right time to do the right thing. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. I was a drum major for justice, peace, and righteousness. We shall overcome because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. If we are to have peace on earth, our loyalties must become ecumenical rather than sectional. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. A lie cannot live. The beauty of genuine brotherhood and peace is more precious than diamonds or silver or gold. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. Nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. Violence as a way of achieving racial justice is both impractical and immoral. The hottest place in hell is reserved for those who remain neutral in times of great moral conflict. Cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks, is it politic? But conscience asks, is it right? Human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. A man who won't die for something is not fit to live. Justice denied anywhere diminishes justice everywhere. No one is free until we are all free. Let us realize the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. To be a Christian without prayer is no more possible than to be alive without breathing. Forgiveness is not just an occasional act, it is a permanent attitude. Means we use must be as pure as the ends we seek. When you are right, you cannot be too radical. When you are wrong, you cannot be too conservative. We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right. There is no gain without struggle. True compassion is more than flinging a coin to a beggar. People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. Peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal. We must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future. I am not interested in power for power's sake, but I'm interested in power that is moral, that is right, and that is good. We must learn that to expect God to do everything while we do nothing is not faith, but superstition. If physical death is the price I must pay to free my white brothers and sisters from a permanent death of the spirit, then nothing can be more redemptive. True education must combine intelligence with character. History will have to record that the greatest tragedy of this period was not the strident clamor of the bad people, but the appalling silence of the good people. The chain reaction of evil, hate begetting hate, wars producing more wars, must be broken. The past is prophetic in that it asserts loudly that wars are poor chisels for carving out peaceful tomorrows. We are tied together in the single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. No person has the right to reign on your dreams. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. Life is hard, but we must keep going and keep loving. We must evolve for all human conflict, a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. He who is greatest among you shall be your servant. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon. Indeed, it is a weapon unique in history. The hope of a secure and livable world lies with disciplined nonconformists. Even if I knew that tomorrow the world would go to pieces, I would still plant my apple tree today. I want to be remembered as a drum major for justice. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Love is the most durable power in the world. The only thing that can stop evil is organized good.